Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk about healthy hodling, how to hodl and remain healthy at the same time. Um, I think you might notice the very strange background. I'm on vacation at a very old, kind of old school 1850s log cabin place, so I had to film it here. Before we hop in, I wanted to give a shout out to my sponsors, Ledn. Ledn is the best place to lend and borrow against your Bitcoin. I personally use Ledn to lend out my Bitcoin. I've been using them for almost 8 months now, so definitely recommend you check them out. I've got a link below if you're interested in signing up. All right, back to the article. So with healthy hodling, I first write these sort of articles and present it on YouTube on Thursdays with my Held Report newsletter. So the Held Report, you can subscribe to it, the link's below. So if you want to hear information that you heard in this video for the next topic come out before, sign up. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in. The origin of the term hodl. So a lot of people think that hodl stands for hold on for dear life. Well, actually it comes from a Bitcoin Talk post called I am hodling. This is the original post right here. And it's essentially a drunk guy who is frustrated with his performance in the Bitcoin markets because he finds that he doesn't do very well when he actively trades. So he drunkenly misspelled hodling, sorry, I keep mispronouncing it because I'm so used to saying the word holding, and he misspelled he swapped the D and the L, and that's how the word hodl came about. And so, after being in Bitcoin for 9 years, learning proper stress management and fully understanding the investment is how I survived this far. It's one of the most volatile assets in human history. In other words, like how I hodl is really, it's crazy to make it this far. And so I wanted to dive in a little bit on the emotional side of what it takes to do that. And before we jump in, I wanted to give you a taste of what it feels like to hodl this long. So this is a video I've got on my YouTube channel, and I'll link to it below. But essentially, it's a time lapse of Bitcoin's price since 2012. So you can just see the volatility through time, and it's incredible seeing how far Bitcoin has come and just all of the crazy price swings. Like, you might feel this pit of fear in your stomach when Bitcoin dips 50% or 20%. Well, it's done that tons of times. I literally had 9 years worth of this experience. For example, here's when Bitcoin, Bitcoin had one of its big run-up moments in 2012. But I don't want us to watch 5 minutes of this. So if you're interested in checking out the whole video, click the link below. And in this newsletter, I really wanted to dig into the techniques that I use to hodl this long. So on the stress management side, mind and body are intertwined. I've often made this mistake of ignoring my body and just focusing on my mind, and it's something that I'm continually working on. I don't think I'm perfect at it. I think I want to level up my level of fitness, and I've kind of ignored that to take care of my mind, but they're actually intertwined. And when you focus on your body, that also improves your mind. So I think that a lot of people just ignore that, and it takes such a mental toll that a lot of people just, it really affects you. I'm sure a lot of you have felt this as you've hodled Bitcoin this whole time, of just like stress or a lot of intensity, and it bleeds into other areas of your life. Also, make sure you talk to someone about Bitcoin, or you talk to someone about how you feel with the investment. It's a very stressful, it's one of those volatile assets in human history with a lot of FUD around it. So, make sure you talk to someone about how you feel about it. Also, find happiness and success in other places. So, I struggle with this too. I'm not saying that I'm perfect at this, but it's something that I try to identify, of like finding a hobby, spending time with friends and family, going out to like a dinner at a restaurant you really like, or going out for drinks, or going to the pool, or going on vacation. All these sort of things help. Or reducing exposure in other ways. And I think this is like a little bit controversial. Personally, I'm gonna hodl the whole way. I plan on lending out my Bitcoin, which I'm currently doing, or borrowing against it, in order to never have to sell. Now, some people, hodling is really, really difficult. And I think that, for me, I'm still buying Bitcoin, but at the same time, there's still other investments that I have. Bitcoin is a gigantic portion of my net worth, like over 90%, but I still have a little bit of something else. So, if you've been dollar cost averaging in a Bitcoin, I think that's super smart, very admirable. But if you're getting sick to your stomach because of the price swings, or if you can't sleep at night, okay, maybe you dollar cost average a little bit less in. there's nothing better than your health. You can hodl for forever, but eventually we all die. You need to make sure that you're taking care of your body and your mind. I do think that hodling 90+% of my net worth in Bitcoin is the smart financial decision to do, and it's done well over the last 9 years, but at the same time, there's a mental cost that comes to that. So if you want to take a little bit of money off the table in terms of either having a life event where you sell Bitcoin to buy a home and your partner really wants that, or you think about maybe just dollar cost averaging and less, if that dramatically improves your mental health, then that's maybe something you should take a look at. And then fully understanding the investment. This is the other second big pillar on how I hodl. So when you go into an investment, have a plan or an investment thesis. With anything major in life, you're going to want to have a plan before you do it. And when entering a new investment, you should think about why you are entering the trade, the edge you have. So why is everyone else wrong about this and you're right? And if you're right, when you want to get out. I commonly see this problem with altcoins. The hard part isn't getting in, it's getting out. Let's say an individual buys an altcoin for $100 and then it rises to $200, and they hodl because they expect it to go higher. Then it dips to $100 and they keep thinking about when it was $200, so they hodl. And then it goes below $100, below the principal, and then they hodl hoping to get the principal back. If instead they had a plan to take money off the table at predetermined levels because their investment thesis was right, then they could have avoided this scenario. When I bought Bitcoin in 2012, I bought it with a thesis that Bitcoin would one day become gold 2.0 or a world reserve currency. With Bitcoin, the total addressable market, or basically max market size for that thesis, is $10 to $100 trillion. Bitcoin right now is only 831 billion, which means that I'm not selling or even considering that. I'm waiting for it to finally hit my investment thesis before I'd even consider selling even a portion of it. Now, like I mentioned before, I don't plan on selling. I just plan on either lending or borrowing against it. Now, this chart below is very outdated, but gives you an idea of the other asset classes that Bitcoin competes against. Gold, coins and banknotes, liquid money, all stock markets, all money. Not included here is another store of value asset called real estate that is a $250 trillion market. So Bitcoin's market size should be between 10 and 100 trillion plus, and we're not even close to that, and that's why I'm hodling still. And when getting into Bitcoin or any investment, as soon as there's a dip, you might feel this pit of fear or this panic, and you wanting to take your money back off the table. You have this loss aversion, and you want to minimize that. But by zooming out, we have additional context. While a dip may seem like a big moment, in the grand scheme of things, there's been many dips. And when we look and zoom out on a longer time horizon, we can assure ourselves that, okay, I'm just feeling a lot of emotion in this moment, but actually Bitcoin's right on track and it looks to be progressing well. So this, for example, is a logarithmic chart zoomed out from since Bitcoin had a price around, this is 10-cent level over here. It's an exponential, so it's a log chart, so it's exponential here. And there's been many, many moments where Bitcoin's price dipped. I really encourage folks to watch that video that I presented in the first part of this video, where it shows Bitcoin's time lapse. Watching that will definitely give you some perspective. And then study. When I first bought Bitcoin in 2012, I didn't fully understand much of how it worked. After the 2017 bull run, though, I poured into Bitcoin content, poured over Bitcoin content, wanting to learn all the nuances. And that's when I started to write up my discoveries, which is in my blog and in the Held Report. Again, the link below to subscribe. And I wanted to write up all of the insights that I had found in my journey and hopefully make the ladder of discovery, which had taken me years, and maybe compress that to months for people. So in conclusion, hodling isn't just a rallying cry for Bitcoin. It's more of an investment philosophy and lifestyle. And I wanted to share this just to help people mentally get through, some of the more difficult aspects of hodling. It's certainly taken a toll with me, and I want to make sure that others at least think about it and proactively think about either talking to people or addressing different, using different methods to reduce that stress. So, with any investment, be careful and methodical with how you choose it. Stick with it until it either fulfills your investment thesis or doesn't over a reasonable period of time, and work to emotionally distance yourself from it. I don't think the 2021 bull run is over yet. You'll need your mind and body in the right spot to survive the rest of this journey. So make sure to at least think about it, take some steps to move towards a more positive mental state, and happy hodling. Cheers. Bye.